Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Today we are going to be talking about Kaguya-Sama Love is War. So this is going to be my first review video. I want to do quite a few of these and I want to try and do one for every series, which I understand is quite ambitious considering I am approaching 300 different series, but that is my goal and I will be releasing those over time. So this review is going to sort of have 5 parts to it. Number 1, publishing information. Number 2, the story. Number 3, what I like and what I don't like. Number 4, my thoughts, including spoilers. So I'm going to separate spoilers to themselves, so if you don't want to be spoiled, you can skip over that segment if you want. And then number 5, my overall rating. I'm going to be putting timestamps in the description so you can jump through to any parts that you want. If you don't care about publishing information or you don't want the spoilers, feel free to use that. Part 1, publishing information. Kaguya-Sama, or Love is War, or Love is War as I'm going to keep calling it, is a romantic comedy being published by Viz Media in English. It has been running since May 2015 in the weekly Young Jump magazine in Japan. As of right now, there are 20 volumes in print, of which 17 have been translated into English, with volume 18 coming out in the next month or so? February? I think February. Number 2, the story. Love is War follows our main 2 characters, Miyuki Shirogane and Kaguya Shinomiya. They are both the student council president and vice student president at Shuchian Academy. Kaguya comes from quite a wealthy background. She's an heiress, I think. Because of all the expectations that are upon her, she's quite cold. It's hard for her to make friends. Her only friend is really her personal assistant. And Shirogane comes from a more poor family. His mother walked out when they were young. His father lost his job and is now currently unemployed. He has had to prove himself. He has worked really hard and he is now number 1 in Shuchian and 2nd in the nation. So yeah, both of them sort of have quite big pressures upon them, but most importantly is they both are absolutely head over heels in love with each other. But as the title suggests, love is war apparently, and the one who confesses first loses. So our story follows the pair of them trying to force the other one to confess their love to the other. Each chapter is sort of a fight, and we see who wins each fight. It's pretty interesting. Number 3, my thoughts. So I was a little wary at picking this up to begin with because, and it's going to sound really weird, but I thought Kaguya looked really scary on the front cover of number 1. I thought it just put me off a little. I don't know, it's the angle or I didn't like it. And then I think I was browsing Reddit and I was on the Manga haul subreddit or something, and I saw almost every haul had 1 or more volumes of Kaguya-Sama Love is War, and there wasn't any particular type of person that was picking it up. There were people picking up One Piece and Kaguya-Sama, there were people picking up only shoujo and Kaguya-Sama, and what struck me was it wasn't aimed at one particular type of person. Everyone seemed to enjoy it, and I was like, well, okay, maybe I should give it a go. And now I'm up to date and have 17 volumes. What struck me when I started reading volume 1 was just how quickly I got through it. Sometimes I'll be reading a volume and I'll drift here and there, I'll read a few chapters, I'll come back to it, but I'm fairly sure I read this in one go in like 30-40 minutes. I loved it, I ate it up, it was amazing, it was so good. I laughed, I cried, I think. I cried in some of the later ones, and it was just so lovely. You learn to love the characters really quickly, which makes it a really good read. What also helps is there are so many side background characters that really could have a series on their own. I absolutely love Shika. She's cute and adorable and wonderful, and She has these side chapters where she just frequents random ramen shops, and they have nothing to do with the story, but I love them so much, and they're just so good, and also they make me really want to eat some ramen. Number 4, potential spoiler thoughts. So I'm just going to talk a little bit more on my thoughts on the series, but I'm going to go up to the end of volume 17, so there will be potential spoilers, so jump to the next bit if you want to. You've been warned. So finally, after 13 and a bit volumes, we have a confession. Shirogane confesses to Kaguya at the top of the school building during the festival, and it is super romantic and over the top, which of course it had to be when we had this much build up, and he's like wearing a cloak and a weird hat, and it's so cute, and Kaguya responds, and it's super lovely, and I love it. But of course, it's not that easy. They both end up getting confused, and it gets a bit weird for a volume or two when they're both like, are we, aren't we? And eventually they are, and they start dating, and it's so cute, and I love it. And then during all this time, we have a lot of side story stuff with the other characters, so they build up. Paul's, what's his name? You! They build up his backstory a lot, and I've really enjoyed that, learning more about him as a person. But yes, they are now officially a couple, so Love is War has now sort of entered the second arc, I suppose, and I just can't wait to see where it goes now. Right, part 5, my rating. So I like to break things down, so I'm going to break my rating down into 3 parts. So I'm going to rate the story, accessibility, and presentation. For the story, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. It is one of my top 5 manga at the moment. I love it. It's jolly, it's happy, it makes me laugh, it makes me cry in good ways. It's so good, and it's really quick and easy to get into. Some manga can take a while to get into, whereas I was in it from the beginning. I think it's great, and it's still holding strong 17-ish volumes in, which is another good thing from a manga. So yes, 9 out of 10 for the story. Accessibility, I am giving it 8 out of 10. As I've said, it is really easy to get into. The only potential downside is it has a lot of references to Japanese culture, and for someone who isn't as familiar with Japanese culture, it could be a bit confusing, or you might not know what's going on. As someone who's read a lot of manga, I found it pretty, oh yeah, okay, I understand what that is, yeah, I know what that is. But someone else, it might be more off-putting. There is also an anime, and an anime is always a great way to get into a new series without having to really spend much or any money at all. I think it's on Crunchyroll, so if you're interested but don't want to commit to the manga, certainly give it a go on Crunchyroll. Presentation, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10, and it is only partially because it has rainbow spines. I love rainbow spines. The covers are pretty and bright. I like the layout of the chapters. I like that it's sort of broken down into fights. At the end of every chapter we see who's won the fight. Sometimes it's not even one of the main characters. Something weird I find about the volumes, and I think it might just be me, is volumes 5, 6, 7. All I can see is Shirogane's ear. Now, I know it's not his ear because they're different people on every cover, but the way it's laid out on the spines looks like it's his ear, and it really throws me every time I see it. But that's not really a reason to mark it down, just a comment. Overall, I am giving this series a 9 out of 10 because it's sweet and wholesome and funny, and it appeals to such a wide range of people, I think. So I would definitely recommend this if you're looking to pick up a new series, or at least try the anime. Either or, I'd be happy with either. If you've enjoyed my video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram where I post neat, funky pictures of my manga. Yay! Thank you for joining me for my first review. I hope it wasn't all over the place and you found it interesting and informative, and I hope you'll give it a go. this is how I'm going to lay out all of my reviews going forward, unless multiple people tell me it's an atrocious way to do a review. I hope you enjoyed it. My next review is going to be on The Rising of Shield Hero, which is a popular isekai at the moment, and I hope you'll join me for it. Bye!